Margaret's hands trembled as she stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, the harsh fluorescent light casting deep shadows across the lines that mapped 73 years of her life. Each wrinkle told a story. The crow's feet from decades of laughter with her late husband Robert, the worry lines etched during sleepless nights when her children were sick, the gentle creases around her mouth from countless bedtime stories and lullabies. "Your wrinkles are ruining all our family photos, Mom." Her daughter Sarah's words echoed in her mind like a slap that continued to sting hours later. "Can't you just step to the back? Or maybe wear more makeup?" The betrayal cut deeper than any physical wound. These were the same children she had sacrificed everything for, working double shifts as a nurse to pay for their college educations, selling her grandmother's antique jewelry to cover Sarah's wedding expenses, babysitting her grandchildren for free while her son Mark built his career. She had given them the best years of her life, and now, in what should have been her golden years, they saw her as an embarrassment. Margaret walked slowly to her bedroom, each step heavy with the weight of realization. On her nightstand sat framed photographs spanning decades, her children's first steps, graduation ceremonies, wedding days. In every single one she was there, beaming with pride, her face gradually changing with time, but her love remaining constant. Now they wanted to hide her away, as if her very existence was an inconvenience. She picked up a photo from Mark's college graduation, remembering how she had worked 16-hour shifts for months to afford his tuition. Her younger face smiled back at her, already showing the first signs of aging, but radiant with maternal joy. That woman had no idea that one day, her own children would be ashamed of what time had done to her face. The phone call from earlier that evening replayed in her mind. Sarah had been organizing a family reunion photo shoot and had matter-of-factly suggested Margaret could help with the refreshments instead of being in all the pictures. The casual cruelty of it took her breath away. When she had quietly protested, Mark had chimed in from the background. "Mom, you have to understand. These photos are going on social media. They need to look good." Margaret sat on the edge of her bed, feeling smaller than she had in years. She thought about Robert, gone 5 years now, and how he used to trace the lines on her face with gentle fingers, telling her she grew more beautiful with each passing year. "These wrinkles are proof of a life well lived," he used to say. "Every one of them shows how much you've loved." But her children didn't see love in those lines. They saw imperfection, something to be hidden or edited out. The breaking point came when she opened her laptop and saw the photos Sarah had posted from the last family gathering. Margaret had been cropped out of 3 pictures and was barely visible in the corner of a 4th. Her grandchildren, whom she adored, were prominently featured, but their grandmother had been relegated to the margins of her own family's story. That night, Margaret couldn't sleep. She wandered through her house, the same house she had intended to leave to her children, looking at the memories embedded in every corner. The kitchen where she had prepared thousands of meals, the living room where she had nursed them through illnesses, the garden where she had taught them to plant flowers. Each room whispered of sacrifice and unconditional love. By dawn, something had shifted inside her. The hurt was still there, raw and deep, but alongside it grew something else. Dignity, self-respect, a fierce protectiveness of her own worth that had been dormant too long. Margaret made herself a cup of coffee and sat at her kitchen table, with a yellow legal pad. At the top, she wrote, "Things to do." The first item was clear: call Jonathan Mitchell, attorney. She had spent decades putting her children's needs before her own, accepting their casual dismissals and thoughtless comments because she loved them unconditionally, but love, she realized, didn't have to mean accepting disrespect. It didn't mean allowing herself to be erased from the narrative of her own life. Her reflection in the window showed every line, every gray hair, every mark of time, and for the first time in months, Margaret smiled at what she saw. These weren't flaws to be hidden. They were badges of honor, proof of a life lived fully and selflessly. She picked up her phone and dialed the attorney's number. When Jonathan answered, she spoke with a clarity that surprised even herself. "Jonathan, it's Margaret Williams. I need to make some changes to my will. Significant changes." The woman who had raised 2 ungrateful children was about to teach them the most important lesson of all. Respect isn't negotiable, and love without dignity isn't love at all.